population density, population size and population growth rate. I gave you different parameters of population. Before discussing the population composition of India, I wanted to share just some of the basic properties of demographic transition model. Every society passes through the different transition models. India is also passing through the different transition. I don't know whether you have studied transition model or not. You have studied demographic transition model?
Yes.
Okay. So now you suggest, you let me know where India falls in this transition. What happened? I discussed it. The demographic transition model to you in my earlier classes, no. So on the axis, this is simple graphical presentation, though model was given by economists. So here this is the rate. Rate may be birth rate, maybe death rate, maybe growth rate. So different rates I will construct. This is say low, this is medium, and this is high. And every society passes through the time. So you can say time since the evolution of mankind. So we had the different social groups. When man is changing its occupation from hunting, gathering to agriculture to industrialization to the present modern day technocratic phase. So human civilization has gone through different occupational stages. First stage was hunting, gathering, nomadism, trapping, living in forest. So in those conditions, man had no habitation, no house to live. So he was living all in like other mammals in the life, in the forest or in the open pasture lands. So he was in such condition, death rate was very high, and death was like high and fluctuating. Sometimes deaths are high when if the epidemic spread over or some adverse climatic conditions are there, deaths increases. Sometimes no epidemic, sometimes climate is suitable, deaths decline. But in such condition, I said, when the birth rates, deaths are high, so the births are also high to retain the number of the population. So this is so births are high. So this is death. Then after the introduction of technology, we started decreasing the deaths. So this is DR, this is death rate, this is BR, this is birth rate. So birth rate remained high, constantly high, but with the introduction, so this is the stage. This stage is hunting death stage. Hunting, gathering, or you can say trapping, or primitive life, you can say. Primitive life. In primitive stage, this is called pre-transition. This is pre-transition stage. Transition has not yet started. So in such condition, here after the introduction, suppose this is agricultural revolution. Permanent settlement. Permanent settlement means habitation, village settlements. Men started constructing their houses. Once the construction of house is there, man became able to overcome the climatic adversaries. So what happened? We controlled the deaths, but births remained high. Births remained high and deaths came down. But after a certain limit, when birth gap is maximum, births are very high, deaths are not taking place, but resources are constant. So what happened? That is the phase called population explosion. This is the stage of explosion when births are high. बच्चे पैदा हो रहे हैं, death हो नहीं रही है. Number of children are more and deaths are not taking place. In such condition, what type of pyramid formation will take place? ऐसा कैसा pyramid बनेगा यहाँ? So base of the pyramid would be large, and then we realize once every society realize resources are limited, population is increasing, population explosion is taking place, then they realize that population birth rate should be controlled. Then the next stage comes, the birth started decreasing, births are controlled and deaths are minimum, births are controlled, and after a certain limit births started fluctuating. What was fluctuating in earlier stage? Deaths. Here, births. So births are fluctuating. And so this is the stage, this is called post-transition. In post-transition stage, both are birth and deaths, both are low. In pre-transition stage, were close, both the lines were close, but both were very high. They are low, but very close, but at the low level. So what happened in the transition? In transition, first there are the three further sub-stages of transition. This stage is called transition stage. What has done? This is called transition. Transition stage, called demographic transition stage. In the first stage, you can say, this is the first transition stage. Then this is the second stage, second transition stage. And this is the third stage of the transition. In first stage, what happened? Births are high, death started decreasing. Second stage, deaths decreased to the minimum, births constantly high, started marginal decline. And in the third stage, deaths are the lowest and the births started decreasing rapidly. If you see any of the society, if I say, say the Chhattisgarh or the Jharkhand, tribal people of Jharkhand, where they are basically, tribal people of Jharkhand, they are somewhere here. But if you say the population of, say, Delhi, we are somewhere here. UP is somewhere here. In this case, we have brought down the deaths rapidly and now we are declining the births. So this is the only graph of showing the deaths and births. But what happened to the growth rate here? I said here it is the growth rate. Birth rate is okay, death rate is okay. But before this, I want to share, here you came to know why deaths are fluctuating. Because man was exposed to the natural adversaries, prone to diseases, epidemics, climatic problems, floods, drought, hazards, scarcity of food. That's why deaths were fluctuating. But here in the last post-transition stage, deaths are stable. We minimize the deaths because we have the medical technology. But after that, births are fluctuating. Why births are fluctuating? Because of some human actions. Here, deaths were fluctuating because of the natural actions. Here, because of human actions. Like sometimes war-like conditions during World War in Germany, in France, in England, in Belgium. Those countries, those were involved in war and continuously for half to 1 decade, when the most of the young population, male, youth, they were in the war battlefield continuously for 5 to 7 years. So what happened? So family union was not there. So number of births declined rapidly. और जब बच्चे पैदा ही नहीं हुए war time में, so what happened? All the pediatricians, medical clinics were closed. बच्चों के जो baby oil, बच्चों की medicine, बच्चों के कपड़े बनाने की दुकान, क्या all they were closed. But अचानक what happened? Once after the withdrawal of war, all family reunion have taken place. Mass level marriages were taken place in a short time period, and instantly large number of children have taken birth in a short period of time. Then जब तक पार्क में कोई भी बच्चे नहीं दिखते थे, इंग्लैंड में, लंदन में एक ही टाइम में पार्क में एक ही एज ग्रुप के बहुत सारे बच्चे दिखने लगे. उससे पहले बिल्कुल नहीं थे. So that increased the, पहले war decreased the birth rate, after the war increased the birth rate. So this type of fluctuation is called baby boom. So boom comes in the birth of the baby. So sometimes this is baby boom. Births अचानक बढ़ जाती है. Sometimes this is the example of the war. If it is not the war, sometimes the government policies, like in England, in Europe, most of the European countries, I told you earlier, there is a carpet ban on aborting the child. Abortions are completely banned in most of the European countries. The European countries want to increase the population size. They said children are their natural asset, resource, human resource. We want to increase the population. In India, we have the population decreasing policy. They have the population increasing policy. So what happened? Once in 1967, Ceausescu was the ruler, was the army general of Romania. And after retirement, when he was the dictator, and he again in the general election, he fought the election. And he said, if I will come in power, I will allow the abortions. So what happened? Romania, en bloc, entire Romania gave thumping majority to Ceausescu. But Ceausescu, once he came into the power, he allowed the medical termination of the child. The birth rates decreased rapidly. And a few number of births started taking place. Then Ceausescu, after 5 years, 4 years, he realized in 71, he realized, oh, that was my blunder in 1967. So in such condition, he said no. He reimposed the law. No, it cannot survive. We have to reimpose the law. Immediately, number of births increased. So this is sometimes the population related policies also influence. Like in 1973, again one more example, China introduced the one child norm. A married couple should have only one child. And then when the child will be there, according to the marriage, those who have taken the marriages earlier, they should have the baby first. So every married couple has to take permission from the municipality and the gram panchayats to have a baby first. पहले उनको जिनकी शादी पहले हो चुकी है उनको बेबी होगा, उनको परमिशन मिलेगी. So every village, so only one child is there. एक से ज़्यादा किसी ने 2 बच्चे हो गए, so they had very rigorous policies. If a farmer is there and he is having 2 child, half of the land will be taken back from him. आधी जमीन पे रही है, दोनों बच्चे करेंगे. गवर्नमेंट दूसरे बच्चे का कोई सब सरकारी सब खर्चे कोई फैसिलिटी नहीं मिलेगी सेकंड चाइल्ड की एजुकेशन में. So if you are living in big house, if you have 2 children, they will be shifted into the small house. So all comforts and are withdrawn by the government. So in such condition, what happened? China in 1973, before 73, they had very high population. Then immediately after 73, the rigorous policy, their birth rate declined tremendously. So now in 2015, in September 2015, they have withdrawn the 71 law and allowed the second child also. Now you can see the number is increasing in China, and it will be realized gradually after a year or 2. So this is the one, what baby boom is there. And after this, here I wanted to share the growth rate. What should be when births are high and deaths are also very high, what should be the growth rate? Low. So growth rate is low. So I am just drawing this line, growth rate is low. Then here gap started increasing. So the growth rate is also started increasing. When gap is maximum, so growth rate is also maximum. When the gap started decreasing, so growth rate also started. This gap is decreasing, this gap is decreasing, growth rate is also started decreasing. And when both are close, growth rate is again low. So what happened? Low growth rate to low growth rate. Earlier there was in pre-transition stage was also the low growth rate, post-transition also we have the low growth rate. This change in growth rate, what happened during transition phase? So that's why it is important every society passes through these stages. I gave you the statistics of India. We had the maximum population growth rate in 1971. In the human history of India, we registered the highest population growth rate in 1971, 24.80, and 81, 24.64. But now in 2011 census, what is the population growth rate? 17.5%. So we decreased from 24 to 17, not 24, approximately 25 to 17%. So it's a steep decline of 7 to 8%. So Indian society in total is passing and is somewhere in the third phase of the transition, where growth rate is decreasing. Our growth rate was highest here. Indian growth rate was highest here in 1971. This was 81. This was somewhere 1991, 2001 and 2011. 2011 it was from 24.80 decadal growth rate to 17.5%. So we are somewhere here in this. If you construct the graph of India, and we are heading towards this. So all European countries, developed countries, they have entered, they crossed the transition and entered to the post-transition stage. And what happened to the population, absolute population size? Absolute population size? What should be the population size here? क्या size होना चाहिए? Absolute population size. High or low? In this condition, जितना पैदा होते हैं उतने मर भी जाते हैं. So number of births and deaths are both are equal. So growth rate, population size is almost stationary. But when the growth rate started increasing, population also started increasing. Population is increasing. Population is increasing. Once we enter to the post-transition, population gets stabilized. So this is the size, absolute size of population. Absolute size of population. Only difference in pre-transition we had the low growth rate, and post-transition also we had the low growth rate. But in pre-transition our population size, the base of the population was low. But in post-transition, base of the population becomes high, and it becomes stationary, and it may decline also. It may decline also. घट भी सकता है. Most of the European countries, their population is decreasing gradually, but on very slow speed. So it may decrease, but it is low population size. This is the transition. And in this transition, if you switch over to India, I wanted to share some of the statistics of the population of India. Like density of India. I gave you the population density of India. Then what was the population density of India in 1901? 71. Only 71% per square kilometer. What type of density it was? Physiological density? Physiological density? Arithmetic density. Yes. Arithmetic density was, it was 71. What happened to the density in 1951? 117. And what about present day? What was the density when India had the maximum population growth rate? In 1971? 177. And what about today? 382. So we are very close to 400% per square kilometer. So it is the average. But we don't have the equal distribution of population. Himalayan regions, mountainous regions, the area with steep slope, area with poor soil, area with the scarcity of water, area without agricultural possibilities, we have the low population density. But some of the areas we are having very high population density. Urban areas are the, you can say, uh, population islands. Urban areas becomes the islands of the problems created by the man. Because of why problem? Because resources are constant, stable, and population is increasing gradually. So population is increasing, resources are stationary. So what happened? Crisis for the facilities and amenities are there. So human struggle, human crisis, conflict to grab the resources, it will increase. What we are facing today in the country, and not only in the country, everywhere in the world. Those countries which entered in the post-transition, they don't have those type of problems. But when resources are limited and population keep increasing, so there is the problem of the social conflict. I wanted to share you some, if we divide the India in some of the regions, a northern region, eastern region, I want to share some density, population density. Say northern India. Northern India, you just make 4 columns. Region, states, density of 2001 and density of 2011. Density means persons per square kilometer. Make these 4 columns. Region, number 1, northern region. Write down the states, which states fall in. This is JK, HP, JK, HP. You just write down northern region. Region is northern region. Write down the state. J and K, HP, UK, Punjab, Haryana, CHD means Chandigarh and Delhi. They are considered as the northern states. So northern states in India, 2001, the population density of India was, in the same region, was 223 persons per square kilometer in 2001, and it became 267. 267 persons per square kilometer. Now second region, central region. Central region is UP, MP, CG means Chhattisgarh, and UK is also, sorry, UK यहाँ से काट दीजिए, Uttarakhand. It was part of UP, so it is in, just right in central region. Central region is UK. Uttaranchal falls in central region because it is clubbed with UP. So its population density was 347 in 2001 and 417 in 2011. So it's a rapid increase in the density. And third, you write down the eastern region. Eastern region of India, that includes JK means Jharkhand, Bihar, Odisha, West Bengal, Sikkim, and Andaman Nicobar Islands, A and N Island, and islands of Bay of Bengal Islands. So its population density was 525, and it became 625. 100% per square kilometer increased in last 10 years. So it was very rapid increase. So it means the next is northeastern region. Northeastern means all the 7 sister states of northeastern region. Need not to say the name. All the Brahmaputra Valley and the Purvanchal and the Himalayan and the Shillong Plateau. So they have heterogeneous geographical conditions. So they have Arunachal Pradesh, Manipur, Nagaland, Meghalaya, Mizoram, Tripura, Assam. This is their population density was 151 and it increased to 176. Very nominal and marginal increase. So, marginal increase. The next is western region of India, that includes Gujarat, Maharashtra, and the two UTs, Union Territories, DNH, Dadra Nagar Haveli, that is the small but administrative units, so you have to write, and the DD means Daman and Diu. So it's basically these are the two states in western part of India, and its population density increased from 293 person per square kilometer in 2001 to 344 person per square kilometer. And the next is southern region. Southern means all the 5-6 administrative unit of South India. AP means Andhra, TN means Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Karnataka, Goa, Pondicherry, Lakshadweep. So these are the administrative units. Basically these are the major 4 states of peninsular India, 4 southern states, 354 in 2001 to 397 in 2011. So with the help of this you can see which region of India registered maximum increase of population growth rate.
Eastern region.
Eastern region. And which region registered the minimum growth rate?
Northeast.
Northeastern region. Because of the geographical variations, northeastern region, it doesn't mean that northeastern region have the this is density. Northeastern region also have the high population growth rate, but their population base is very low. We have very high population base. अगर इतनी population पे 5% भी growth होगा तो absolute number will increase rapidly. If the population size is like this, less base is small. अगर कहीं 5 लाख population पे 10% बढ़ेगा और 5 करोड़ population पे 10% बढ़ेगा, so difference is very high. So because of the eastern region, base is very large. That's why they have the high population growth rate. This is the reason. Here, apart from this, I also wanted to share the states which are having population density more than 500% per square kilometer. Some of what is the average density? For 384. 384 na? 382. Sorry, 382. But I wanted to share list of the states which are having population density of more than 500% per square kilometer, and we'll discuss why it is so. So the list of the states are, you may just write it down. Bihar 1102, 1102 person per square kilometer, persons per square kilometer in Bihar. Next is West Bengal 1029. Next is Kerala 859. Next is UP 828. Next is Tamil Nadu. No, sorry. Next is Haryana 573. The next is Tamil Nadu 555, and next is Punjab 550% per square kilometer. These are the states. 550. These are the states with intensive food grain agriculture, labor oriented agriculture, subsistence agriculture, The nature of agriculture is intensive subsistence, labor-oriented agriculture, where more and more labor is required in agriculture. Area is plain. Crop growing seasons are very ideal. They may take 2, sometimes 3 crops in these states. Whether it is East India, Bihar, Bengal, UP, Punjab, Haryana, I say all deltaic, lacustrine plain.